Many people have heard and know that every person is unique. This is really true because from a biological point of view, identical organisms cannot exist in nature. There are also other points of view, historical and astrological. They all agree that people are different. In a world populated by billions of individual beings, each person is a unique and inimitable personality. This unpredictable diversity stems from a combination of many factors. Hermann Hesse, a German writer and philosopher, wrote, "You should not compare yourself with others, and if nature created you as a bat, you should not try to become an ostrich. Every person is unique and should not try to be someone else. If you are in a world with your innate qualities and characteristics, do not try to change yourself to meet someone's expectations or standards. Like a bat and an ostrich, each person has their own unique traits and abilities. Comparing yourself to others is a useless activity. Comparing yourself with others, you can lose sight of your own strengths and achievements. A simple example. If you are an introvert and prefer to spend time alone or in a small circle of friends, do not try to become an extrovert just because it is more socially acceptable. Accept your preferences and live the way you feel comfortable. It is important to accept yourself for who you are and follow your own path in life. Trying to become someone else or meet someone else's expectations will only lead to dissatisfaction and disappointment. Never confuse your character with your attitude towards you. Your character depends on you, and your attitude depends on your behavior. Character is our essence, which remains relatively constant and does not depend on external factors. The attitude towards another person is presented as a flexible, changeable reaction to that person's behavior. Of course, we are responsible for our behavior and its impact on relationships with others. It is important to maintain your essence despite changing circumstances and relationships. Every person is unique and must find their own way in life. This can mean following your hobbies, dreams, and inner beliefs, even if they run counter to public expectations or traditional ways. The individual path allows a person to reveal his true nature and achieve true happiness. Without changes, something sleeps inside us and rarely wakes up. The sleeper must wake up. Life is full of changes, and accepting this fact is the key to personal growth and development. It is the changes that lead to the awakening of our inner self, allow us to grow and evolve. Without accepting changes, a person can stay in one place, missing out on many opportunities for self-improvement. Happiness is like a butterfly. The more you catch her, the more she slips away. But if you turn your attention to other things, she come and sit on your shoulder. Happiness is not something that can be achieved in a direct way. It comes by itself when a person finds inner harmony and does what is really interesting and important to him. Focusing on external goals and material things often leads us away from true happiness. Love should not ask and should not demand. Love should have the power to be confident in itself. Then it's not something that attracts her, but she attracts herself. True love does not make us constantly want something from another person or force him to do something. Love should be free and selfless. It does not need constant evidence or confirmation from the outside. Love itself is a source of confidence and strength. Such love is attractive in itself, and people are attracted to it, not the other way around. It can be compared to the sun. It does not ask the planets to revolve around it, it just shines, and the planets are naturally attracted to it due to its power and energy. The nature of love is twofold. Sometimes it is a feeling of eternity and then its own variability. It is important to be aware of the illusions, the powers of overcoming and the values of each experience. This wisdom helps us to better understand ourselves and our emotions, as well as be prepared for the changes that life inevitably brings. If you are lonely, then it's time to get to know yourself. Loneliness should not be perceived as a negative state. On the contrary, it is an important part of the path to self-knowledge and inner growth. Being alone with oneself, a person has the opportunity to understand his thoughts, feelings, and desires more deeply. Everyone has their own reality. This is the most important thing. If you start taking someone else's reality too seriously, you'll lose yours. By accepting someone else's reality and learning from others, we expand our own worldview and enrich our inner world. However, it is important to maintain your individuality and not lose yourself in the process. Peace and quiet are necessary conditions for the restoration of mental balance. In the daily hustle and bustle, we often forget about the importance of moments of silence, which help us focus, find inner harmony and come to peace. Living in the present moment is an important principle that Hesse often emphasizes in his works. In search of your path and self-identification, it is important to learn how to live in the here and now without dwelling on the past or the future. This helps a person to enjoy life more fully and be more aware. If you hate a person, you hate something in him that is a part of yourself. What is not our part does not bother us. We often project onto other people qualities or traits that we don't want to acknowledge in ourselves. When we experience strong negative emotions towards someone, it may indicate that in this person we see a reflection of those traits that we reject or do not accept in ourselves. It is observing what causes us hatred or irritation that can help us better understand ourselves and our internal problems. This is an important step towards personal growth and self-improvement. Understanding that our hatred often reflects our own shortcomings can lead to a more empathetic and tolerant attitude towards others. Instead of judging and hating, we can strive to understand and accept both others and ourselves. And of course, responsibility for one's own emotions and reactions is assumed here, suggesting that one look for their source within oneself, and not in the outside world. In moments of intense love, a person tends to believe in its eternity. This feeling creates a strong emotional conviction that love will last until the end of life. Love seems to be an enduring and fundamental part of existence. But this is not the case. This is the reality that feelings can change, relationships can end, and this is a normal part of the human experience. Realizing that love may seem eternal, but it can still end, helps people to be more prepared for possible changes and completions in a relationship. This does not mean that you need to avoid deep feelings, but it is important to be prepared for the fact that life can present unexpected turns. After going through the completion of a meaningful relationship, a person can become stronger and wiser. This experience helps to better understand yourself and your emotional needs, which can contribute to a healthier and more mature relationship in the future. Love can be begged, bought, received as a gift, found on the street, but it cannot be taken by force. Love cannot be forced or forcibly won. Love is a feeling that arises naturally and voluntarily. It can come to us in different ways, but we can never force someone to love us against their will. No amount of force or coercion can make another person genuinely love. True love arises only from free will and sincere feelings. If you want someone to love you, it is important to remember that real feelings cannot be forced. You cannot force another person to love you through pressure or manipulation. It is better to focus on building a sincere and honest relationship where both partners are free in their feelings. Love is a free and voluntary feeling that cannot be forcibly conquered. Love can come to us in different ways, but it must always be sincere and real. In youth, people are often focused on themselves, their desires, ambitions, and personal goals. Selfishness in this context does not necessarily have a negative meaning. This is just a natural state when a person explores and forms his personality, strives for self-realization and independence. As people get older, they begin to realize the importance of other people and relationships. Priorities change, and there is a desire to take care of others, help them, and contribute to the well-being of society. This is the transition to maturity, when a person begins to live not only for himself, but also for others. With age comes the realization that true happiness and satisfaction are related to relationships and helping others. The wisdom accumulated over the years helps to realize that altruism and caring for others bring more joy and meaning than self-focus. Understanding and accepting this evolution helps people find deeper meaning and satisfaction in their lives. Therefore, in order to live a full life, you need to have the courage to let go of what has already passed. Obsessing over the past, whether it's regrets, resentments, or even old joys, can prevent a person from moving forward and enjoying the present moment. The past is like an anchor and can be both positive and negative, but too much attachment to past events, whether mistakes or successes, can become an obstacle to personal development. A person stuck in memories is deprived of the opportunity to open new horizons and get new impressions. Letting go of the past is not an easy task that requires courage and willpower. It means accepting your mistakes, forgiving yourself and others, and letting go of old grudges and regrets. The courage to let go also includes the ability to leave even positive moments behind, so as not to live with illusions and idealize the past. People who do not have a large circle of friends often have a busy personal life and a lot of hobbies. This does not necessarily mean that they do not have social skills or that they are lonely, but rather highlights their independence and ability to enjoy time spent alone. A person who comfortably spends time alone can be completely satisfied with his life and not feel the need to constantly communicate with others. A simple example: many introverts prefer to spend time alone doing their favorite things instead of actively seeking companionship. They may have several close friends, but their lives are full of various hobbies. Such people can be independent, self-sufficient, and find joy in activities that they are really interested in. But setting goals is not enough. You also need to be able to dream in order to be a unique person. A dream allows you to imagine an ideal world for a particular individual. Everyone has their own ideal. If a person can imagine his ideal, then he is a unique person.